three brothers making their debuts lost.
There's a lot of excitement about Saul Alvarez's first appearance here in the United States. And as we mentioned, Kid has already had 44 professional fights, as he says he has, at age 19. Is that too fast a start for his career?
No, I don't think so, because they match him very carefully. They are not fighting quality fighters down there. And they have a longer amateur career. Say there's not a good amateur program in Mexico.
Jose Miguel Cotto, as you can see, is a body puncher, not impenetrable opponent for Alvarez to be facing. There's a good right hand by the 19-year-old. And he is wobbled by a left hook, and he's in trouble, and Cotto's dumping him. And maybe the matchmaking was a mistake, but no, he gets out of trouble, getting his feet under it. Miss, he dodges a right hand, comes back with a right. His solution is to fight.
He should be clinching.
He's fighting instead of clinching.
Well, when you're 19 and you've been so successful, you don't know a lot about having to clinch. But he's fighting back, he's trying to be intelligent and patient.
To the man while he's still hurt.
It was a left hook that wobbled him. Alvarez is trying to solve.
So who knows how long he can hold that weight.
Uppercut by Alvarez lands. Almost landed. Miguel Cotto. Jose Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, this is for the next Mexican or Mexican-American star, because there is so much. And here is a kid who has been picked out to watch.
Talking about hooking off the jab in the last fight. Yeah. And we've already seen that Alvarez does it too.
Alvarez is a very good, hasn't been hit with anything clean yet. But I'm looking at this kid, he's very good. He just keeps his hands too wide. At speed and power, then that's going to probably neutralize that.
Yeah,
at this stage,
being forward.
No, Alvarez is fighting that is really his proper weight too. And that makes a difference too. Very comfortable. A little extra.
Were they training together down there in Tampa?
Good hard left hand by Alvarez.
They train together at the same time, but he's not trying to give each other advice when they train. They train totally separate, go past each other, never interfere with each other's training.
Good counter right hand up and under from Alvarez, and Cotto's glove touched the canvas, and Alvarez has just evened up the knockdown on the scorecards.
Okay.
That was big.
He'd make him bigger back home.
He's keeping Cotto lunging, coming in off balance, and trying to catch him with counter punches as he's getting off balance coming in.
He landed 9 punches in the last minute of round 2. That was something of a comeback rally.
And if Jose can keep that pressure on him, most part neither.
Well, what Jose Cotto is doing is following.
Looked like he brought up his Emmanuel after you analyzed the problem from fighting for 5 years.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you know, what you look at, he's 19, but he's had about 30-some fights. He's come from the family with 6 brothers, so he's been boxing since he was a kid.
The word Canelo, that means cinnamon. They call him cinnamon for that reddish hair.
Yeah. But looks more Irish than he does Mexican.
Yep.
In the black and white, Harold, how do you have it so far?
2 rounds to 1 in favor of Canelo Alvarez. I thought Canelo Alvarez led the cleaner shots to pull out round 3. So 2-1, Canelo Alvarez.
Well, I'm thrilled you corrected me, Harold. I was unaware, did not notice that Tony Weeks didn't rule it in. And thank you, Harold, for your sharp eyes. Good uppercut.
That was a little 5-punch combination.
If Cotto could just get a little bit closer, is keeping in the height. But if he could just get a little bit closer, he would be very effective.
No.
Alvarez is starting to put more mustard on his punches. Having recovered from the shock of getting hurt by Cotto in round 1. He's trying to load it up a little more. Right there. Hard right hands up and under, and the body shot. Another well-placed uppercut. Significant onto every punch. He wasn't just tapping it. He was landing shots.
At the same time, Cotto kept coming.
Yep. That's what if Cotto would have, and Cotto just followed him around and letting him recharge without attacking him.
When that uppercut is well delivered and starting to gain some purchase. And look at the determination of Jose Miguel Cotto, who keeps his head right in there and stays on top of Alvarez. Terrific test for the young fighter being provided by Jose Miguel. That was crowd-pleasing.
Brought up the business with Shane Mosley of the drugs, used painkillers for his hands, which he did in some early.
Know exactly what he was doing and that he had been fooled into taking performance-enhancing.
They were illegal. Whatever, he was certainly responsible. And what's always been interesting to Bill from too much muscle.
Hard left hook by Alvarez. I think what's emerging here, Emmanuel, what we're seeing from this 19-year-old is that he has unusual athletic coordination for boxing and great timing.
Yes,
great timing for when to deliver the shots.
And what I see is great poise.
And he's hurting Cotto with those right hands and the left hooks. Cotto not throwing back, finally releases his hands, but not before Alvarez got in about 8 or 10 clean shots.
Cotto's got a great chin, too. He's never been seriously hurt in this whole fight, and has been hit with some tremendous shots. Maybe a little too mild a person. As a matter of fact, the action when the fight went back and forth.
Good hard right hand by Alvarez. Once again, the timing and the ability to throw these shots with extreme accurate precision.
Well, if Alvarez...
a lot of Alvarez's punches haven't been that clean as much as it seems, but when he has landed good punches, Cotto has come right back, so he's had a real test tonight.
Why would he be fighting a strong young welterweight when he himself is a junior welterweight?
Well, I think he's had a long time off. I'm not sure, but I'd be fighting a good young prospect like Alvarez.
Jose Miguel Cotto had 3 fights last year, only 1 in 07 and none in 08. So he was largely inactive in 07, 08, and that's what gives him what he thinks is the freshness to come on and fight a guy like Alvarez.
But Alvarez is very sharp, very crisp, and punching with full authority and crispness.
Alvarez landed 17 punches in the last minute of round number 5, and now as the last minute of round 6 arrives, he keeps his stamina all the way through a 3-minute round.
Up at 19 and 20, doesn't it, Emmanuel?
Yes, it does. And I like the fact that he started early because the fact that, you know, he doesn't have that type of an amateur background in it, but he's a very well-schooled fighter.
I mean, he is terrific coming off those ropes. 5-1, Alvarez.
Cotto landed a right hand, his best punch in a while. Most of them are partially blocked as Alvarez is keeping his hands way up.
Well, we're going to see now in these late rounds how this youngster can stand the constant pressure over the course of a 10-round fight. If he throws a jab, can you call it a cinnamon stick?
So Emmanuel, is Miguel Cotto, younger brother, watching?
He's watching the entire show.
Want to say hello to your new fighter? On the other hand, a powder puff puncher compared to your guy, right?
Yeah, but the guys that Foreman has fought, the guys that nobody have knocked out neither. He's not a great puncher, but he's not that bad a puncher neither.
Are you talking on the record or off the record?
No,
here,
I'm being honest. No, I have a lot of respect for you at Foreman. Me and Miguel, the whole camp does.
Buys him a little energy. Now, of how Mayweather-Mosley was made. Some of you may come back after 21 months in, quote, retirement. negotiations for Pacquiao versus Mayweather broke down over the issue of drug testing, Shane stepped up and said, hey, I'll take any test you want.
In charge, it's his territory. He's just won a fight, looked terrific in a one-sided fight, and he
never had him ever hurt. And the only person been hurt has been Alvarez himself in the fight.
was good junior welterweights.
Yes, I am very
battle.
impressed tonight. Yes, considering the fact that I know he's about 10 pounds overweight. And looking at he's taking all of these back and is very relaxed. Doesn't even seem to be exhausted.
Now just look how almost clinical Alvarez is here. Trying to...
You don't expect to use clinical as an adjective for a 19-year-old fighter, but he is. Decisions in Mexico against opponents whose names we don't know, but the fourth one is a veteran from, 10, 15 years ago. We had seen him in some lesser fights.
And he was 17 at the time, Alvarez.
And 4 consecutive route-going performances was that he needed to learn what he would learn from going rounds. So he says, I decided to dispense with knocking people out for a few fights so that I could learn what I was going to learn. Now, whether that's true or not, it's a remarkable comment for a fighter to make.
Fight like a seasoned fighter.
Settled into the notion that he's going to be going the distance here with Jose Miguel Cotto. A plan that Alvarez has in his head. He's trying to win the fight by decision at this point.
I just think he's trying to win the fight. If the knockout comes, it comes. But he's certainly not trying to sit on a lead here.
I don't think there's any reason to say that the punching power is less than what was billed. I think this is a strong performance.
A young tyro with a chance to be something. We're seeing one now. Beautiful right hand right over the top.
Tremendous quickness on that right hand. Cotto seems to be buzzed. Cotto keeping his hands up. Not really throwing back. Alvarez targeting right hand shots. Targeting right hand shots. Tony Weeks looking. How much punishment does Tony Weeks want to allow Jose Miguel Cotto to take?
Cotto's got to start punching back. Otherwise, this fight will be
He's throwing back, but without any velocity. Alvarez is teeing off, and Tony Weeks is going to stop it right there. They were just above us, and you could see Tony Weeks' mind working as he watched and waited and finally saw the moment.
The winner by TKO victory. As referee, Tony Weeks calls a halt to the contest. Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Cotto.
to capture the vacant WBC middleweight world title. He's the challenger, the former WBC super welterweight champion of the world. Damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saúl Canelo Alvarez. He's a 5-time world champion, former super lightweight champion, former 2-time welterweight champion, former super welterweight champion, the reigning, defending, Ring Magazine lineal middleweight champion of the world, from Caracas, Puerto Rico, Miguel.
Protect yourself at all times. Protéjanse en todo tiempo. Obey my commands at all times. Obedezcan lo que digo. Gentlemen, vámonos, hace esto.
Round one begins. Everyone's on their feet. As Max pointed out, there's not only an expectation, but also a tremendous hope on the part of boxing fans that tonight, signature punch for Miguel Cotto is the left hook to the ribcage. Canelo Alvarez has a pretty doggone good left hook of his own. They're standing in the center of the ring. Yes, we will. We believe we can outbox him. Body shot by Canelo. Cotto high with those left hooks. Hasn't gone down to the bottom of the river, seeming now to settle down and relax a little bit. There was tension early on. Good kick, left hook inside by Cotto. Now good left hook by Canelo. Hard right hand to the body.
Good
body
body
shots
shot
by Cotto. Canelo. Canelo will come straight forward in his view to land his shots. As soon as he lands the punch. Lateral movement, clearly a part of the Cotto plan early on. Good right hand by Canelo. And the left hook. Crowd loves that. Left to the body by Canelo.
Cotto up on his toes, boxing early, like they said he would do.
Pretty even round. The two fighters in round number one. Right hand upstairs for Cotto in the round.
On a straight right lead more than we ever seen him throw it before. After the jab, sometimes just on a straight right. Doesn't look like a very powerful or effective straight right, but he's using it.
Probably. Neither fighter fights at a particularly fast pace, but it's Cotto who is throwing more punches early on. And throwing more punches can steal rounds when neither fighter... Aggressive by throwing.
The older, smaller guy.
Jab lands for Cotto, second one missed.
And the older, smaller guy is using his timing to catch Canelo, off rhythm, in between.
Open. This was different. Cotto was guarding.
Good counter right hand by Canelo.
Followed by the jab, followed by a left hook. Canelo's starting to get a little bit more active now as we come down the stretch of round number two. Already you see Miguel Cotto throwing 31 more punches.
And the difference in this is that Canelo has power in both hands. Cotto only shows power in the left hook. But he did land a good straight right there.
One more punches in both rounds. Landed one more punch than Alvarez so far in the fight. 9-5 power advantage for Cotto in that round.
It's a nip and tuck kind of fight. So far what we...
I can tell you right now, Canelo is the sharper puncher tonight, Max. By far.
Can we agree that both fighters have been relatively conservative so far, looking not to make a mistake? And now Canelo trying for the right hand over the top. Good hard shot by Canelo up the middle.
Pick him up, pick him up.
Heard Robert Byrd telling him to pick it up. There's a good right hand by Canelo. Alvarez blocking the left hook with his right hand. Lands a straight right. Crowd likes that. For Canelo Alvarez, who's stepping up the action, now takes a right hand from Cotto.
As expected, where Cotto has the advantage, it's when his superior
From Cotto had a little sting on it.
Counter left inside by Canelo. Now the jab lands for Alvarez as well.
Canelo showed a good jab and a good left hook.
And he is frustrating Canelo Alvarez with his sharp timing right now. This is a good round. Both fighters have done some damage.
Canelo just looks so much bigger physically than Cotto.
Oh, good right
hand by Canelo.
Good hook by Cotto.
Well, you get a sense here in round number 3 that the fight is beginning.
The way he's walking him down and landing the power shots, just like that. Backs him up, walks him down, and belts him with a right hand. You know, it shows real skill. I just don't think he's doing as much damage as Canelo is right there with the right hand.
Well, that was the hardest punch of the fight so far, that right shoe.
And so when Cotto lands his 1 or 2 or 3 shots, Freddie wants him out of there.
Canelo came out throwing a strong left hook to show Cotto that he's willing to exchange left hooks with him if he wants to throw the hook.
Now here comes Cotto with left hook, left hook, left hook. 1 to the body, 2 to the head. His primary weapon well in evidence now as we get into the middle. Now Canelo is starting to time his jab effectively.
See that hook right there?
Yep.
That hook slows the opponent down from throwing his own hook.
They trade body shots.
Good body shot by Canelo.
Has to at times get inside to land those punches, making him the target for Canelo.
He can hold this.
You heard Freddie a round ago wanting Cotto movement, have Canelo chase you. Now he wants Cotto to back Canelo up and put him on the ropes.
And gave the 4th round to Cotto, evening it on the Letterman scorecard. 2 rounds apiece.
Good hook to the body by Cotto. Canelo acknowledged it.
Canelo so far.
Good right hand by Canelo.
Official judges are doing as they score the fight as they go along. We can tell you what Harold and Twitter can tell you for Canelo Alvarez.
Hard left uppercut. Canelo is really doing some great feigning to cause Cotto some issues right now.
Cotto side-to-side movement stops Canelo from throwing, but when Canelo lands sharply.
Oh,
like
good overhand.
Because you got to break the momentum of the bigger guy.
Just seems to be too big.
Good. Rider going ooh and ah. Hard right hand by Alvarez. That
is the difference in the fight so far.
Well, one of the questions coming in was what exactly was the import of Cotto's 3 sensational wins in a row under Freddie Roach? Was it because he was so great and had been taken to another level, or was it because all 3 of those opponents were severely compromised when he fought them?
And that was a beautiful left hook, straight right hand by Canelo again. But Max, what I was going to say was, all those 3 hooks that you were talking about against those opponents, he was coming forward. Today, he's going backwards in the circling. He's no good going backwards in the circling. That's the difference that Freddie Roach had made in it.
That's why Freddie wants him to double on that jab and come in pushing Canelo back.
Good combination and landed heavily with both shots.
Yeah, he's pretty slick. He's showing some really slick stuff tonight, Jim.
Good body shot by Cotto there.
See, Cotto's punches just don't seem to have a steam on them.
And Canelo looks like a super middleweight at least.
Seems to be showing up as we come toward the middle point of the fight. 20 seconds left in the 6th round.
Got it 4 rounds to 2, 58, 56, Canelo Alvarez. You know, Jim, in rounds 5 and round 6, Canelo really got into this game. He backed the guy up, walking him down, moving forward, landing a hard shot, just doing more damage. That's all there is to it. 4-2, Canelo Alvarez.
Even look at the way this round started. Cotto was active, Canelo wants more activity.
Hard body shot from Canelo. Cotto seems to be searching for an answer. He knows he needs to try to back Canelo up. So now he's trying. Up. The more they trade, the more dangerous.
but Canelo seems to be able to hurt him with a straight right hand, a left uppercut, a left hook, a right uppercut, a body shot.
And the jab.
Exactly. Good hook by Cotto, though.
Cotto's going to have to commit to that.
It's on Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach is the greatest trainer in the sport and the one most capable number of shots. Canelo's are harder shots.
Oh.
Another left uppercut lands for Canelo.
Buckled Cotto's knees a bit.
Yeah, that's what they told him to do, back him up with a jab.
Freddie Roach wanted Canelo for Cotto. He saw Canelo. Oh, good action. Good, real tough exchanges from both guys.
Good body shot by Cotto. One of his best of the fight. Alvarez answers the body shot with one of his own. Tremendous uppercut for Alvarez. Another uppercut. A right hand across the top. Cotto lands a left hook. Tries to land another one. Best action of the fight so far. Left hook lands for Cotto. Right uppercut lands for Canelo.
Canelo just a sharper guy tonight, so far.
Bigger hitter.
Right now.
Bigger man,
like
bigger hitter.
Like that hurt. Those hurt Cotto.
He is gradually getting Cotto into trouble from the accumulation of punishment.
These are furious exchanges, and the difference is one guy's ability to absorb it over the other.
Oh, good exchange of hooks.
Tremendous left hook by Cotto. Alvarez answers with a right and a left. Hard right hand by Canelo Alvarez. Only halfway done.
Big shots. Those were some terrific exchanges.
Good hook.
Not against Canelo.
Good shot.
So Cotto was trying to stop what appeared to be something of a losing streak by rounds, as some of the other judges might have.
I can see that.
And the question is, how big a price did Cotto pay?
Cotto's corner was saying, okay, that's good. Now I think we can also do this. And in Canelo's corner, they were saying, we don't like what you did there so much.
Hand left, and it could have been dangerous. That's what they're worried about. Good right hand by both fighters. Oh, good uppercut. Cotto threw a good body shot there. It didn't land, but he threw a good one.
Oh, the real Miguel Cotto is beginning to show up now.
Yes,
there's the left hook to the body, which is his best punch. And there's Canelo answering the left hook to the body with his own left hook to the body.
3 good jabs by Cotto, too. Oh, good hook.
Quick, hard left hook. Might have hurt Cotto. By Canelo.
Oh, good uppercut. Wow.
I think Cotto blocked it, Roy.
The uppercut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good jabs by...
Oh, good hook by Canelo.
Quick left hooks by Canelo. 3 of them in this round. Blistering.
Oh, good
There's
uppercut
another
by
one.
Canelo. And Cotto comes right back off it, though. I'm impressed.
He's got a great chin.
Yes, he does.
It does look as though when Canelo hits him with those shots, this is going bad for Cotto, but then he doesn't actually wobble.
No, he comes right back and throws 3 or 4 of his own.
It's like he ain't getting hurt. But what you're judging is who's doing more damage. And doing more damage. He's coming forward. He's landing monstrous shots.
Can't lose. I'm going to win this fight walking away. Whether it's true or not, that's what...
I think to make Alvarez feel his left hook, especially...
He's more active, trying to move side to side and confuse Canelo.
To take them kind when you're this fatigued in a fight. A good right
But
hand.
hard right hand by Cotto. And Canelo answers for risk being stripped. Some people believe Canelo will go ahead and make the deal and fight Golovkin. Others believe that he won't and that the governing body won't force him to, as they say they will.
But seems to be following your instructions, but ringside it seems to...
But I think that we have a little bit of edge because we're scoring the jab more and the combination.
Like that all in these next few rounds?
Well, no, I would like that, yes, because I have been urging him enough. Don't let him back.
In control, even as Freddie Roach tells Max Kellerman that he thinks Miguel Cotto's outscoring him.
Yeah.
Good left hook by Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, Canelo is in control, Jim. The thing, though, right now is that he's also giving Cotto an opportunity.
Canelo is vice versa. It's going to be interesting to see this, the way this is scored, if it goes to the cards, which it looks like it's heading that way.
Every judge is different. Every scorecard is different. We don't know what to expect as we come down toward the last round of the fight. And you heard Freddie Roach say that he believes Miguel Cotto's landing more punches. CompuBox does not agree. From the last 3 rounds in the fight to Canelo Alvarez and has him with a 5-point lead coming to the 12th. Alvarez lands a couple of pretty big shots to start this last round.
Huge shot.
Oh, what action.
Alvarez is trying. Hard right hand over the top. Right? No, not really hard. A looping right hand over the top.
It was pretty hard, Jim.
These shots are hard enough.
Good body shot.
He's getting the better of him in every way right now.
Good
This
body
is a
shot,
very
yeah.
big round so far for Canelo. Now here comes Cotto, trying to reverse it, because Alvarez just did. He cut him in the 12th round.
Oh, and hit him with two more big shots right there.
Tonight, though, that Alvarez walked through the shots.
The 3-to-1 odds for...
Good body shot. Oh, that body shot hurt.
Shots
Yeah, that body shot hurt him bad.
Very hard
That body
shots.
shot hurt Cotto really bad.
He's in trouble now. We'll see if Canelo can finish him off. Only 20 seconds to go. Cotto trying to survive what has been a brutal assault here in the 12th round.
And Cotto just tried a mean left hook just.
We go to the scorecards. John McKay, 117-111. Dave Moretti, 119-109. Bert Clements, 118-110. All three scores to the winner by unanimous decision. And new middleweight champion of the world from Guadalajara,